Dear students, today I am going to discuss the next topic, that is rules to ask questions starting with whose, part 1, under Learn English through Tamil, the foundation course. I am Dr.R.G is taking class for you. Vetri welcomes you all. Now, rules to ask questions starting with whose, part 1. Under this, let me give some introduction as usual. So this is coming under interrogative sentences. WH. A sentence that asks a question is called interrogative sentence. A sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. Normally, we are using the following types to ask questions. Number 1, WH questions. Number 2, yes or no questions. And number 3, tag questions. Only these 3 ways we can able to raise questions to know the answer. So, students, you must have a clear idea. Now, let me concentrate. I am concentrating for the last few classes only from the type 1. Here, under the type 1, I am taking today under the WH verb whose. Interrogative sentences, under this, WH questions are questions that begin with words that typically start with WH. They are used to gather information about a specific topic. Important WH words are used to ask questions, or I am giving alphabetically: what, WH, when, WH, where, WH, which, WH, who, WH, whom, WH. So up to this we have already discussed. Today I am going to discuss whose. Still I have to discuss why, WH, and whose also WH. And how, the last one, only here it is not WH, it is getting interchanged. So WH interchanged in the form of HW in between O, how. This is the only exception you must have an idea. Okay. Now, each WH question word serves a specific purpose and helps to elicit detailed information. They are fundamental in both written and spoken communication for clarifying, understanding, and obtaining necessary details. My dear student, here, whose question is used normally to identify a thing of a person. A thing of a person. That is, ஒரு பொருள் யாருடையது என்று கேட்பதற்காக நாம் உபயோகப்படுத்த வேண்டிய சொல் whose. யாருடைய. இங்கே we should be very careful. There are 3 WH. Who, whom, whose. Who, யார். Whom, யாரை. Whose, யாருடைய. இது மிக எளிமையாக நீங்கள் உணர்ந்து கொண்டால் மட்டுமே இதனுடைய அர்த்தத்தை முழுமையாக புரிந்து கொள்ள முடியும். Please follow. Okay. Now, as usual, I am giving now, there are 4 types of rules I am giving now. First, rule 1, the whose plus main verb plus subject is rarely possible. That is not possible. What is main verb? Walk, run, eat, etc. main verb. So, if you want to refer, you go to the main verb chapter and you can have idea. So that you cannot directly connect with whose, you cannot raise question. Number 2. Whose plus subject plus main verb sentence is also not possible. Kindly follow. So that means main verb you should not use for WH questions. Then you can ask question, what? Only auxiliary verb we have to use depending upon the nature. The third is, so third and fourth is most important rule for us applicable. 3. Whose plus auxiliary verb as main verb plus subject is possible generally. Whose plus auxiliary verb as main verb. Here it is my duty, I have to explain to you. I am repeating all the cases. Here also I will, just 1 minute I will explain. Under the auxiliary verbs, see auxiliary verbs we can classify a number of types. One of the types is called main and auxiliary. Under the auxiliary, there are 5 types. Be verbs, type 1. Do verbs, type 2. Has, type 3. Will, shall, type 4. And correspondingly, would, should, could, might, 5. First 3 auxiliary verbs will act as a main as well as auxiliary. Whereas the secondary auxiliary, that is fourth and fifth type, we are calling it as secondary auxiliary or modal verb. So they cannot use as a main verb. Please have it in mind. Directly we cannot use. Whereas the first 3 we can use. Right. So a simple example, whose is this car? இந்த கார் யாருடையது? யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? இந்த கார் யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? A correct meaning it is giving. Okay. The next one, kindly follow. Whose plus auxiliary verb as helping verb. Please follow. First I used a main verb. The second I am going to use each as an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb plus main verb, subject is possible. Or whose plus auxiliary verb, subject plus main verb, it is possible. In this case, you take this example, whose is this car running fastly? வேகமாக ஓடிக்கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த கார் யாருடையது? வேகமாக ஓடிக்கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த கார் யாருடையது? Whose is this car running fastly? In this case, run main verb, the corresponding present participle, that is running. Kindly follow. So, here I want to give one important information. That is, I already pointed out. Let me repeat again. In English, when asking a question, we usually need to include an auxiliary verb like do or are, but not main verb like walk, run, etc. for WH questions. This is the very, very important. We should not use main verb. Please follow. Now, let me start with the first auxiliary verb, be verb. Under the be verb, we know it is am, is. This is the be verb. Or past tense was, is, was, or were. Kindly follow. Is past tense was, or past tense were. And am is applicable only for I. Am we are using only whenever we are using. I am a boy. I am a boy. I am a student. Like that. But why I am not taking this am in the normal questions? Normally we will not raise question ourselves. So if you want, we can. Say for example, am I am writing correctly? Am I am reading correctly? We can ask. But it is very rarely we can. So that's why I am omitting am, the entire thing. Only I am giving concentration for is or was were. So let me take first is. First question, whose is this book dedicated to? Whose is this book dedicated to? இந்த புத்தகம் யாருக்காக டெடிகேட் செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளது? Whose is this car? இந்த கார் யாருடையது ஆக இருக்கிறது? Whose this the pen on the table? டேபிள் மேலே உள்ள இந்த பேனா யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? Whose is the key on the chair? சேரில் இருக்கின்ற இந்த கீ யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? So, you know how we have to translate. So, without Tamil, I will go, because all are a simple sentence, I will go fastly with only English. Kindly follow. Whose is the cup of coffee? Okay. Next one, 6. Whose is the phone ringing? Whose is the phone ringing? Now, dear students, in the first 1 to 5 questions, is acting as an auxiliary verb as well as main verb. Okay, except here, the book dedicated. Kindly follow. The book dedicated. It is main verb. Dedicate, main verb. But in all the 2, 3, 4, only verb is auxiliary verb acting as a main verb. Whereas, now you will see from 6. Whose is the phone ringing? So, is ringing. Ring is the main verb, is auxiliary. அடித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிற இந்த போன் யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? Main verb ring. Auxiliary helping verb is. Whose is the key left on the table? Whose is the key left on the table? மேஜையின் மேல் வைக்கப்பட்டுள்ள இந்த கீ யாருடையதாக இருக்கிறது? Whose is this umbrella? Whose is the bike parked outside? Park, main verb, is auxiliary. Whose is the email in the inbox? Is main verb. So, depending upon the condition, you must find out. If it is only auxiliary, you can think of main verb. If along with some other verb, whether gerund or the participle, then you have to think of main verb. I can go for the next is or. Is you have to use only for he, she, it, third person singular. In the case of pronoun, whereas in the case of noun, singular. So only when these we are using is. In the case of are, so we will use normally for we, first person plural, you, second person singular and plural, third person plural. For this we have to use are. And also plural noun we have to use are. Mangoes are, apples are, like that. we have to. So this difference you must to know. So let me start now. Whose are these class? Whose are these class? இந்த ஆடைகள் யாருடையதாக இருக்கின்றன? Whose are these toys? Whose are these bags? Whose are these documents? Whose are these headphones? In all the cases, are using as main verb. Even though it is an auxiliary, it is acting here as a main verb. I told you. Now, here I will give the another important information. Whose are those shoes left on the storeroom? Please follow. Are left. Whose are those shoes left on the storeroom? Storeroomil வைக்கப்பட்டுள்ள left விடப்பட்டுள்ள ஷூக்கள் யாருடையதாக இருக்கின்றன? என்னுடைய தமிழ் அர்த்தம். அதாவது left main verb, leave is the main verb, the participle left, are is the auxiliary, helping verb. Whose are these keys left on the floor? Same thing. Are auxiliary left. Whose are these books left on the table? Whose are these glasses left on the sofa? Whose are these pens left on the table? In all the cases, left participle, past participle, but the original verb is leave. So they are main verb or is the auxiliary verb. So now with respect to is, I will use now the past tense was. So I can use raise question with whose past tense. Whose was the idea to start this school? இந்த பள்ளியை தொடங்குவதற்கு யாருடைய ஐடியா கொடுக்கப்பட்டது? Whose was the idea? யாருடைய ஐடியா? இந்த பள்ளி தொடங்குவதற்கு யாருடைய ஐடியா, யாருடைய கருத்தாக இருந்தது? தூய தமிழாக்கம். Okay. Whose was the car parked outside? So here parked main verb, was auxiliary. Whose was the book left on the table? Left main, was auxiliary. Whose was the last message in the group chat? Last message. Here there is no main verb, so was is the main verb. Whose was the responsibility to organize meeting? Was is the main verb. Please follow. The next one, again using was. Whose was the painting displayed in the gallery? In the gallery, displayed main verb, was auxiliary. Displayed, the present V1 verb, display, V2 displayed, V3 displayed. So past participle also displayed. So that is main verb. So whose was the decision to change menu? Whose was the decision to change menu? So here was is the main verb. There is no main verb here. Auxiliary verb was is acting as a main verb. Whose was the phone that rang in the day? Now rang is the main verb, was is the auxiliary. Next, whose was the email sent this morning? Sent main verb, was auxiliary, helping verb. Whose was the feedback that we received? Received main verb was auxiliary. Received, original receive V1, V2 received, V3 also received verb. Present tense V1, V2 past tense, V3 past participle. Main verb. Kindly follow. The next I will go for using where. It is a past tense of are, plural. Whose were the documents on the desk? டெஸ்க் மேல் உள்ள இந்த டாக்குமெண்ட்கள் யாருடையதாக இருக்கின்றன? யாருடையதாக இருந்தன? வேர், பாஸ்ட். Whose were the earrings on the bathroom? Where, auxiliary acting as a main verb. Earring in the bathroom. Whose were the footprints in the garden? Where, auxiliary acting as a main verb. Whose were the gloves on the sofa? Where, auxiliary acting as a main verb. Whose were the paintings in the gallery? Where, actually, the auxiliary verb acting as a main verb. Now, I am continuing. Whose were these shoes left by the door? Left by the door. கதவின் அருகில் விடப்பட்டுள்ள இந்த ஷூக்கள் யாருடையதாக இருக்கின்றன? ஆக left main verb, were auxiliary. Whose were these books left on the table? Left main verb, were auxiliary. Whose were the keys found in the kitchen? Found main verb, were the auxiliary, helping verb. Found is the main verb, find. V1 is find, V2 found, V3 also found. Then, whose were the coats hanging in the hall? So, hang is the main verb, present in the form of present continuous. So, I can say here, main verb hang, auxiliary were. Whose were the sunglasses on the dashboard? Here, where is the only main verb, the auxiliary verb acting as a main verb. I hope you have a clear idea with the where. So, in this, I have discussed only the be verbs I have used with the use. The next class, I will use do verb, has verb, will, shall, and would, should, etc. I will discuss. Thank you. See you again in next class. Bye-bye. Dr.R.G.